Okay, well, before we download R and start to program in R, I'd like to go over some basics about R. Now, one of the first things I want to point out is that there are really two software packages. There's R and there's RStudio. And I'm going to show you how to download both in the next module. But basically, R is a pretty clunky software program, okay? And some others created RStudio as a way to make R easier to use. And so we're going to download them both. And what will end up happening is you'll just open RStudio and R will just automatically be loaded. Okay. So the key benefit of R and RStudio is that they're both free. Okay. So this has created just an influx of users. And these users often find that R and RStudio can't really do the things they want it to do. And so I'll just stop saying RStudio, just refer to R from here on out. But basically, these users create packages, and the packages are pretty expansive. And so these packages will help you to manipulate data, to run different types of models. I'll introduce you to these packages as we move along. But each package has its own documentation. And so as an example here, LME4, which is a popular multi-level package for multi-level analysis, has its own page. Okay, and so you can go to its page and then click on the PDF that the authors put together, and then there are all sorts of like vignettes and examples that you can see on here as well. So let me give you some warnings. All right, despite the fact that there are all of these packages, I want to make it clear that R requires programming. Okay, so if you are looking for just a drop-down menu-based software system, this is not for you. You are going to have to write code. And at first, it's not going to be easy. However, you're rarely going to have to start with a blank page. I'm going to provide some code. You can find code everywhere online. Okay, so you don't have to memorize any of this stuff. You'll save it as you go along, and you just reuse it in different ways. Now, the other warning I'll give you is that I mentioned these packages that different users have created. Sometimes there are conflicts between them, but R does a really good job of letting you know when there are conflicts, and you'll see this as we go along. But you don't face this too often, to be honest. So, in this intro, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how RStudio, and the different R packages work together. And then I'm going to talk about how do we import data into R, how to transform and merge data, how to run summary statistics, how to run basic regression of multi-level models, then also how to visualize data, which I think is super cool in R and makes it one of the great benefits of using R. And so here I'm just going to list a few different packages that are really popular. And you can look these up, and I'm going to show you how to download and upload all of these so that you can use them. And then I should just say that there are a lot of different resources that are available for our support. Now, this book is just, it's so good, and I highly recommend it. And you can go on Amazon and buy it. You can also just kind of search for it, and you'll see that the whole thing is online. Okay, and so you can click through everything. It will show you all the coding basics and things like that. So it is a great resource if you're really interested in R. So now that we've covered the basics and kind of distinguished between R, RStudio, and the various packages, in the next module, we're going to actually install R and RStudio, and then we'll get to work.